Frequently asked question number 40. Can I water my succulents at night? Now guys, ideally succulents tend to do their photosynthesis at night, which means that they would require water. Now a lot of times the humidity is very high at night. So what I would suggest is, because the succulents tend to fall under the CAM category of photosynthesis, which means that they do their photosynthesis at night. Now, however, there is going to be a lot of humidity for a lot of people who belong to a tropical environment. Usually the night temperatures are cooler and the humidity is very high. So that is going to work in the favor of your succulents. So when exactly should we water our succulents? I would say it is better to water them at around 4:30 p.m. or 5 p.m. Because when you're going to water your succulent, remember, as I said, for at least 2 or 3 hours the soil is soggy wet, because you have just watered it. It tends to stay soggy wet depending upon your environment. It might take 2 hours, 3 hours, or maybe just 1 hour, depending upon how dry your environment is, how dry the soil was. But most important thing, the soil has to be completely bone dry. So once you're done with watering, let's say around 4:30 p.m., 5 p.m., you're done with your watering. The soil is going to take a little bit time for it to drain out all that water. Let's say it stays soggy wet for 2 hours. And after 2 to 3 hours, the soil will be moist wet. Now this type of soil is going to work out really well for your succulents. It is going to start with its photosynthesis once the sun tends to set. Once it's let's say 8-9 p.m, succulent will start preparing for its food. So at that point of time, if the soil is moist wet, it's more than enough. And then by the next day, let's say early morning 7-8, the soil is going to be barely moist. Most probably, depending upon your environment, the upper layer of the soil will be dry, but it's going to still be moist beneath, and that's absolutely fine. So the best time to water your succulents would be around 4:30 p.m, 5 p.m. It's going to work out really well. Let's say if you do not have time for this, then you can either do your watering early morning, whichever works out, but do not water them late in the night, because by then they have already started their process of photosynthesis. The water is going to be too much in the soil. Apart from that, there is going to be moisture in the environment as well. So if the soil is going to be moist wet by then, that is going to work out absolutely well for your succulent. So an ideal time would be around 4:30 p.m, 5 p.m. This is when I usually tend to water my succulents as well, and they have been working out pretty well. They are pretty happy with that watering schedule. But as I said, you have to ensure that the soil is completely bone dry at all given point of time for majority of the succulents that are brightly colored. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and thank you so much for watching.